Hello there, neighbors. Thank you for joining me at Crafting in My Corner. I'm Alicia Dolan, and I am here with your Stampin Sunday video. I'm so glad you could join me tonight. It's been a little bit of time since the last video, and so I hope that you'll enjoy this one. It was brought to my attention not too long ago that I didn't have very many baby cards in my stash. And so I ordered a new stamp set. I got the hold on, let's see. It looks backwards. Let me see if I can fix that. Well, I'll show you when I'll show you when I turn the camera around, and then it'll be back to normal. Let's see, now I can't see how to get rid of that. Uh-oh. I accidentally changed how I look. Okay, guys, I don't know how to get back to normal. There we go. All right. So tonight we're going to make two, actually, baby cards. And we will turn the camera around and get started. Let's see. I am going to turn my overhead light on so that hopefully you can see really well. Let me straighten everything out. All right, so tonight we're going to make two cards. Now, both of these cards feature the Subtles paper and the All for Baby stamp set. So we are going to get started, and as we go, I'll tell you the measurements, but I'll also post them later in the description on YouTube, so that if you want to make these cards to case them, you are more than welcome to. Our first card we're going to use is a Petal Pink base. And the base of this card is 8.5 by 5.5, and then it's scored at 4 1/4. So it's your standard A2 size card. I'm just going to scoot everything to the side tonight. And then our next layer is basic white, and that is 4 by 5 1/4. And we have 3 small pieces. These are 3/4 inch by 4. So we have you know what, let me look up the colors real quick just to make sure. I was gonna write them down and I didn't get that done yet today. I feel like I'm a step behind lately, but I will post all the information that you need to case these cards in the description on YouTube as soon as I can get it loaded on there. I had some trouble with the last video. I don't think it ever loaded to YouTube. So if you are interested in last week's card, which turned out like this, I believe the video is still on Facebook, but I don't think it ever loaded to YouTube. I'm not sure why, but if you're interested in this card, send me a message and I can send you the measurements for to make this. All right, so back to our current card. This base color here is Petal Pink. This color here is Pool Party. The next color is another piece of Petal Pink. And the next color is Highland Heather. And we're going to take these 3 pieces and our Stampin' Pierce mat. I'm going to set that down. And this is just a piece of white copy paper. Sometimes I work on that when I don't have something else just to stamp on. So we're using photopolymer stamps tonight, and that's the reason for the Stampin' Pierce mat. If you're working on your Stamparatus, you don't need the Stampin' Pierce mat. You just need the foam that comes with your Stamparatus. Okay, and we are first going to use some Versamark tonight and a tiny Stampin' Block. Hi, Kim. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's been a little while since a video. So this is block A. This is an acrylic block. And first we're going to take from our stamp set the tiny rainbow. So I'm going to pull that off and just stick it on my little block. I'll open my Versamark ink and I'm going to stamp that rainbow in the Versamark, and then I'm going to stamp it here on the Highland heather. And I'm just going to stamp it all over. And I'll hold it up close to the camera in a minute so you can see how it turns out. I'm not stamping very carefully, am I? I'm hurrying a little too much. So let me slow down. Now, if you stamp Versamark on a piece of colored cardstock, this is what you're going to get. It's just a slightly different color of that stamped image. So I'm going to set that one aside. I am going to grab my Stampin' Chamois. I'm going to clean off my little rainbow real quick. And the next stamp I'm going to use is going to be the little hearts. Okay, and so that's this one here. I'm going to scoot this a little bit because I noticed it was a little wobbly before. So I'm going to ink that up with the Versamark. And actually, I'm going to put this one on the Petal Pink paper. And I'm just going to stamp little hearts all over this paper. Now, if you wanted to, after you stamp these with Versamark, you could also emboss them. I'm not going to do that today because I just want that slight color difference for my stamps. So there is the Blushing Bride. And I'll hold all three of them a little closer to the camera when I'm done so you can see what the difference is between those. And next I'm going to grab this little tiny star. And we are going to stamp that on the pool party paper. I gotta move that back again. I'm gonna scoot it around a little bit, honey. So we're just gonna stamp little stars all over. Now, if you were to stamp this on white, you really wouldn't notice it much at all. See how even if I stamp it just on the copy paper, you don't really see it. It might add just a tiny bit of shimmer, but that would be about it. Hopefully you all can't hear all the background noise going on around here today. My kids have a friend over upstairs, and I can hear a lot of stomping around. Hopefully that's not coming through. Okay, so now I've stamped all three of these with the Versamark ink, so they have just a little bit of decoration on them. I should have been a little more careful with my rainbows. I'm not as happy with their placement as I am with the other ones. Okay, and I'm going to set those aside, and then at the end, that's when I'll put everything together. So next, we have a piece of white that is 1 3/4 inches by 4 1/4. And I'm going to use these two little outfits and my Petal Pink ink pad. So first I'm going to open this up. And mine, for whatever reason, usually they go the other direction, but mine is upside down. My label is on the wrong side. When you store your ink pads, you want to store them so that your ink pad is facing down inside whatever shelf system you have. Okay, so let's do this little polka dotted one first, and I'm going to put this on block E. So I'm just going to put it like this, and then I'm going to ink it up over here just by tapping gently. And then I am going to put that one right here, and I'm going to press in the center and then pick up gently. I might have actually got a little too much on there, but we are going to press on anyways. I'll clean it off on my Stampin' Shanty. Put that to the side. I'm going to put my little outfit back. And then I'm going to get the other one. And I'm going to make them the same color. So I'm going to tap it again in the ink. And then I'm going to stamp this one below. Trying to keep it about the same spot in the middle. So there are my two little outfits. And I'm going to clean that stamp off. And I'm actually going to leave that stamp on the block because I'm going to use it again on the second card, just in a different color. Which I just realized I got the wrong color, not the one I wanted. Okay, so next, oh, they could have been a little paler, couldn't they? All right, I'm going to set those aside for right now. And I'm going to grab my scrap pieces of basic white. And I'm going to stamp my same on here. And since I'm going to use the same for both, I can stamp it twice. So now I have another block. This is block H. And I like the size of this block. It's really easy to stamp with. And then we're going to choose Hello Little One for our same. And I'm going to put that on my block. Like this. And this time I'm going to stamp with Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And mine is, I just re-inked it the last time we stamped together, just before then. So it's got a lot of ink on it. So I hardly have to press it down at all to get enough ink. Like I might have missed the H. There we go. And then I'm going to hold it over here and stamp it down. And actually, I'm going to turn mine around. I'm going to ink it up again because I'm making 2 cards with the same message and the same images, but different color schemes. So I'm going to stamp that down here. And if you're worried that your ink doesn't have enough ink, you can always use your Stamparatus, and then you can double stamp. You can ink it back up and stamp in pretty much the same spot and just darken your image a little bit. Okay, now my stamp is all cleaned off. I'm going to put it back away so it doesn't get lost. I think I've already lost the cover sheet that goes over this, but I'll find that later, hopefully. All right, now to get this image out of here, we're going to cut around it. So we're just kind of making a little wavy cut around. Maybe you could call it like a cloud cut, or just call it a wavy cut. And as much as you can, you want to turn your paper and not your scissors, because you'll get a nicer cut image that way. It's not going to be perfectly smooth either way. But see how I'm just wiggling my scissors? I saw someone do this in a video not that long ago. I wish I could remember exactly who it was. I'll have to go back through my history and see if I can find it. But I really like the way it turns out. And they're not the same, so each one is a little bit different. And we're going to cut both of these out at the same time. And of course you can make it any shape you want. If you wanted to go closer to the letters, you could. But I like to just kind of wiggle around. They kind of remind me of little thought bubbles. So each one is a little bit different, but it's okay that way. Every card you make is going to be a little bit different anyways. So there we have that. We need to, let's go ahead and put our first card together, and then you can see how it looks. Okay, so here are all our pieces. Our piece of basic white is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to turn that face down and take my liquid glue, because that's my favorite adhesive. You can use any adhesive that you prefer. This is my favorite one because when I'm putting the cards together, I have a little wiggle room when I use this before it's stuck and I can't move it. So we're going to put that white right in the center of the Petal Pink base. And press it down. Now when you're using the liquid glue, you don't want to push that tip of the glue hard into your paper, or you will notice it from the other side. It will almost be like you're embossing the paper. So there's that. We're going to turn our Stars on Pool Party over. And I'm going to put some glue on them. And I almost always put my cap back on my glue in between each one, just because you never know how you might get distracted in between, and if you leave it open, it will dry out. Okay, so next is the Petal Pink. I'm not doing that right this second because hopefully I won't run into too many distractions while I'm here online with you. And here is our Petal Pink with the hearts, the Versamark hearts. And see how I'm able to scoot that one a little bit so that it's in the center. If I was using Stampin' Seal or Stampin' Seal Plus, I wouldn't be able to scoot it like that. Once it's stuck, it's pretty much stuck. And if you tried to pull it up, it would tear your paper. And that's okay if you don't make mistakes and like to adjust. But I happen to need a lot of adjusting. Okay, so, whoops, there, see, that one adjusted when I didn't want it to. All right, so we've stuck those down. Now I'm going to take my little outfits, I'm going to turn them over and add some liquid glue to the back. I should have turned my computer on so I could see your comments, and I can't. So I apologize if you're making comments and I haven't seen them. I will go back and read them and answer any questions you might have. Okay, so we're going to stick that down. And for the next step, we're going to turn this over, and I am going to put some Stampin Dimensionals on the back. And I have to open up a brand new packet. So when you order Stampin Dimensionals, they come like this. And there are 3 sheets in every packet. And I'm just going to put the extra ones over here. And you can get these regular size ones, or you can get mini ones, which are helpful for smaller, like little sayings or cutouts. They do come in handy. And this host code that I posted up here, just real quick so you know, this is only good until Wednesday. So if you order between now and Wednesday, I will send you a pack of these wonderful gems along with one handmade card from my card stash because it's growing quite large and I need to find a new home for some of my cards. And they would love to come home with you. So, all right, we're going to put this right here. And I think that looks good. And let me grab one of my little things. And I think we'll put it just like this. And so I'm going to need a Stampin' Dimensional for one side and a little bit of glue for the other side. I don't know if you guys can hear there. It sounds like there are elephants above me right now, tonight. Usually, well, I would like to say that's usually not the case, but it honestly is. This is how a lot of my time goes. All right, so we said one end is going to need a dimensional. That's this end. And the other end is going to need a little glue. That is this end. Now this stamp set also can come with dies that you can use through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Let's see, where did I say I'd put it? I think it looks good right here. So there's that, and I have over here on the side, I just got some new gems, and I think we'll add those just because they're pretty. And this is what they look like. They're called the Genial Gems. So let me grab my take your pick tool, because I love that for picking up the gems. Let's see, and they're all below the thing. So let's, alright, I'm going to use these larger ones. And I'm using the sticky end of my take your pick tool. So I'm going to put one right here. And then I'm going to put some smaller ones just over here on the little outfits. Because I think they'll be cute like that. You know what? I'm going to put one on each shoulder. Just like that. And then I'll put, alright, I'm getting a little carried away with the gems, but I really like them. They're so cute. And then we'll put 2, 3 across this way. Did I get that one even? Oh, it's a little crooked, but that's okay. Alright, so there are those. And I think that turned out cute. Oh, you haven't got the Versamark. I really love Versamark, so I will show you some more things that you can do with it. But on this one, we're just using it to make kind of like a watermark look on these. I suddenly lost my train of thought. These colored pieces of cardstock. All right, so now we'll make the second one, and we're going to make it pretty much just like this one. So we already have our Hello Little One stamped. This must be my other extra piece of white, which I don't need now. And then maybe we'll change it up just a little bit so that I can show you a little something extra that you can do. All right, here are our strips that we're going to stamp on. And we'll use the same pattern. So first we'll do the rainbows. And I'm just going to put on this little block, and that's block A. We'll stamp it in the Versamark. And just stamp it around. Looks like I might need to refill mine. And you can get refills for both the Versamark ink and the Memento Tuxedo Black. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can get refills for all of the inks, except for colors that might have been in colors at one time and aren't colors anymore. So there are the rainbows. Next, we're going to do the hearts. Whoops. And this is a really cute set. It comes with a wash line and little clothespins. But I wanted to show you how you can use it without having the dies. You don't need the dies to use it. You could have them or you could not. And anytime you don't have the dies, you could always cut the stamped images out just like you would with a die anyways. Okay, there's the heart. And last but not least, we will do the little stars. have to plan a few more cards that use Versamark. That's one of the first things that I got because I really love the heat embossing. I love the look of it. I don't love the noise of it because it's like running a hairdryer pretty much, but it really is very pretty, especially if you're using the gold or the silver embossing powder. I haven't actually done that in a while, so it would be good to do one of those. And Christmas time is a good time for that too. Because who doesn't need a little extra sparkle at Christmas time? Okay, so there are the pieces that are going to go on. And this one we are going to stamp with the little outfits. Okay, and we already have our little stripey outfit on. So I'm going to open up my Pool Party ink. Let's see, is that outside? Yep, that's outside of where you can see it. All right, I'm going to scoot that over so you can see. And I'm just going to tap my image on there to get enough ink. And I'm going to stamp this one at the bottom, just like I did the last time. And clean off my stamp. Then I need my little polka dot outfit. Stamp that right above it. And I'll just stamp off a little bit. And clean off my stamp. It looks like I need to wash my chamois a little bit again. I'll take that upstairs. It's probably been at least a good month since I've soaked it in the sink and really washed it. I don't do that very often. All right, now with this one, we're going to add a little more color. So let me grab a Stampin' Sponge, if I can find one. Nope, that's not it. Let's see, maybe I can't find them today. I might need some new ones. Okay, I'm going to use something that is not available anymore. These are sponges, and Stampin' Up used to sell them, but we don't anymore. Now there are sponge daubers and little blending brushes. So these are the blending brushes, and the sponge daubers look like this. But I tend to use them only for one color, and that way I can keep them for a really long time, which is what I used to do with these sponges, but they don't have the sponges anymore. So we're going to take our sponge and we're just going to tap it on the ink. It's the same thing you would do with a sponge dauber. And we're just going to brush it around the edges. Now you can use this to give your paper a little more color or a little bit of a worn, weathered look, or just to make it either stand out from what it's in front of or kind of blend in a little bit, depending on how you use the color. So I'm going to go around the sentiment and around my stamped image. And I'll show you the difference that it makes at the end here. Okay, And see, it doesn't take very long, but it adds a little something extra. We'll set that aside and we will assemble our card for tonight. Alright, so we're going to take our basic white next and put some liquid glue on the back. And I'm going to turn that, oh, you know what, I'm going to move this out of the way just so I don't accidentally glue it where it doesn't belong. Alright, here is our piece of basic white, just the next layer. I kind of put those a little too far away. No, I put them a little too far away from me. Alright, we're going to put the stars on next. So I turn those over. I'm going to put a little glue on the back. And glue that at the bottom. Just like that. Okay, next I'm going to do the pool party with the hearts. Oh, this was Balmy blue. Next we're going to do pool party with the hearts. And we're going to put that right there. And then this one is soft sea foam with the rainbows. That one goes next. And it doesn't matter what order you did these in. You could do this with any color, any stamp set. This was a sketch. I got this idea from a sketch I saw on Pinterest called Mojo Mondays. So if you look up Mojo Monday sketch, there are all kinds of sketches posted, and you can find dimensions, and so they'll give you the measurements for each spot, and you can do a card exactly like that, or you can get just a basic idea from it, which is kind of what I like to do. Get the idea for the layout, and then you can do whatever your heart desires. Alright, so we're going to turn that over and glue it down. I have a lot of ideas to share with you too. I just have to get the time to get all the videos out there. Alright, we're going to turn this over and we're going to add Stampin Dimensionals like we did on the last card. And I'm sure this would be really cute too if you stamp the outfits separately and cut them out and then just pop them up on the front. That would be really cute as well. There are those. I just vacuumed up a whole bunch of those little Stampin' Dimensional backs today, and I'm sure I will find a bunch more when I am done. Alright, so we're going to stick that on the front, and here is our sentiment again. I'm going to turn it over, put a tiny dimensional on this side, and a little bit of glue on this side. And hopefully this video will upload to YouTube better than my last one did. I don't know what happened there. But if it doesn't, I will go back and put the measurements in the description, or put a link to my website where I can list all the products that I used, and that makes it really easy to get the same supplies if you're interested in those. All right, and this time I'm going to put a little green dot right here, and that's actually the larger of the Genial Gems. And I really like those ones we did on the shoulders. So I'm going to put 2 little ones on the shoulders up here of the polka dot outfit. And then I think I'll put a large one and a small one and a small one over here this time, just so it has a little bit different look than the last one we made. And I'll show you up close what they look like. Oh, yeah, Halloween cards are fun too. Okay, so here are our 2 cards, and I don't know if you can see the little bit of difference that extra color makes on this one. It's just a little bit though. And I think they turned out really cute. So we used Versamark, and this is Pool Party. This one is Petal Pink. And then our gems are from the Genial Gems set. And this is... So both of these cards are made from the All for Baby set and the Subtles pack of cardstock and basic white. So I am really glad that you could join me tonight for this Stampin' Sunday video. I will get it posted on YouTube. If you're watching on there, if you could give me a like. If you like this video, or subscribe if you don't want to miss future videos, then that would be great. I will be back again next Sunday for another Stampin' Sunday video. It's a really good set. I really like it. I got another one to go with it that I haven't used yet. It's called One Happy Family, and I really thought it would give me a few extra options for baby cards since I didn't have any in my stash. I thought it would be important to start making them. And these sayings you could use with other stamp sets. You could use it with the Turtle Friends stamp set. You could use it with the Hippo Friends stamp set. I think pretty much any animal stamp set with like a larger animal and a smaller animal. But I thought they'd be really cute. So hopefully soon I'll have lots of little baby cards in my stash. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will talk to you all soon.